convicted of his role in Isabella's murder. Police said gunfire from him and his brother missed their intended target. At sentencing, the judge did not hold back.
And I've seen the videos and the pictures of all the boys with the Dracos and the ARs, a bunch of fake wannabe NBA young boys who can't look a person in their eyes who they have a beef with and say, this is why I have a beef with you.
At trial, prosecutors said what led the brothers to spray bullets into several homes, including Isabella's, was a spat on social media.
Instead, they get these guns and they post on the gram, they post on Facebook, and they show videos and pictures of empty clips of what they just did, send it back to their own phone, portraying this sense of false bravado, toughness. Y'all saw, all of y'all weak. All of y'all soft in those pictures.
More is right here on the side.
You already know what the fuck it is, man. It's your boy Casanova, man. I'm fresh out the motherfucking shoe, aka the fucking box, aka the fucking hole. I done lost 20 pounds, but this knife on me, this shit heavy, this shit weigh a ton. I'm outside, inside. You know the fucking vibe, man. Love me now, hate me forever, man. Yeah, I get it. All you fake niggas, all you fake bitches, I get it. Don't worry, don't double back. Free me till they see me. Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, yo, what's happening, black men? Now, in this one, I have a message for all my young black men, and it goes hand in hand with everything I talk about in my videos. Everything, right? I talk about the thug maxing, I talk about conforming to the culture, and I talk about separating yourself from the culture, black men. See, let's start with Casanova. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, listen, go on YouTube, right? Go to Vlad TV. There's an interview with Casanova about almost a decade ago. Nah, it's probably a decade old, because when I was in high school, I knew about Casanova back then. For some of you guys, Casanova's still relevant. He's still relatively new to you guys, but I knew about him for a while. Now, on that Vlad TV interview, Casanova talked about how, listen, he was robbing corner stores, robbing bodegas. You know, he was doing all types of nonsense in his neighborhood. And there's also a video of his baby mom talking about how she loved Casanova. You know, when they first met, he was so exciting. Everything he was doing, it was a thrill. There was adrenaline rush. You know, she said that he was everything for her, right? He checked off all the boxes, black men. And after Casanova was caught robbing that bodega, or it was a bank, maybe a bodega. Anyways, he robbed the place, and guess what? He had to go to prison for 7 years. Now, if you guys rewind time a few years back, right? Casanova was going to prison again, a racketeering charge, gang charges, right? And he disclaimed, or he disowned, no, I'm sorry, he renounced his ties to the Blood gang, right? And again, he still ended up going to prison. He's on dropout yard for the next, what, 10, 15, 20 years, right? So, you know, his girl done moved on. And, you know, when you look at his image, black men, that's what black women are going for. This is what I'm telling you guys. You need to get away from the culture. I'm telling you, go look up the videos. Go look up the Vlad TV interview with Casanova, and look up the video of his baby mom talking about him. Again, this was a decade ago, bro. Like 2018, 2017, 2016, somewhere around there. She talked about how Casanova was so exciting. You know, he brought an adrenaline rush. But I'm like, yo, she knew about everything he was doing. So I'm telling you, black men, don't throw your life away for black pussy. Yes, I have to say it. Do not throw your life away for black pussy. I told you guys, if you look on my channel, the very first video on this channel, I talked about how black women are the catalyst for you as a black man to destroy yourself. She is the guard dog, Hades, right? She is the guard dog for the white man. If you do your best, if you get out here trying to impress them, you can only impress black women by two different ways. You either draw blood or you conform. And by you conforming, you're going to have to draw blood at some point. Either you're going to draw somebody's blood or somebody's going to draw yours. That's how that works. Because when you look at violence, it's them who champion violence. It's them who advocate for violence. It's them who promote violence. I'm going to make the video clip, right? But recently, I saw something on Instagram down south in Atlanta. A black dude fought a police officer, right? And his girlfriend was right there. So not only did he get beat up by the police officer in front of his girlfriend, but he also got tased and arrested by the police officer in front of his girlfriend. And when you think to yourself, your girlfriend's right there, why did she not stop him? Yo, babe, stop. What are you doing? No, pull on his arm, bring him away. She wasn't doing anything, black men. All she did was watch. And see, black women, they look at guys like that guy who I just told you about, Casanova, those young guys who shot up that neighborhood and they unalived that young girl in the house, right? Then you want to go on Instagram, take pictures of your guns, you want to flex. See, all that stuff is to impress them. You see, when you sit back and ask yourself, why are black men or young black males doing that kind of stuff? It is for Keisha. It brings no return, bro. There's no return on investment in being a street nigga. There's no return on investment in diving into the streets. You create ops, you shoot people, you rob stores. There's no return on investment other than going to prison. Black men, slavery is not over. It's called prison. Yes, they may have took the shackles off your wrists and ankles physically, but those chains are still locked around the minds of so many young black men, and all they did was try to find ways to implement it in small ways in the culture, right? You know, there's a quote by Hitler, and you might say, yo, why are you quoting Hitler? Listen, when he was doing what he was doing, right, over there in Germany, over there in Europe, this is what Hitler said. You take control over the women, the men and children will soon follow. Let me say it one more time. He said, if you take control over the women, the men and children will soon follow. See, as we grew in numbers, they could no longer control us with physical force. It now became psychological warfare. So guess what? They're controlling your mind, young black men. Through the music, they control you. Through the music, they control you through frequency. When you put on Lil Durk, when you put on your favorite drill rapper, right? Because that's now all the music right now for rappers. It's just drill music. When they put that stuff on, it makes you operate on a different frequency, black men. You're now thinking kill, destroy, rob, hurt people. You're thinking you're tough because of a song. You're thinking you can relate because you're growing up in a Section 8 neighborhood and you're poor because of a song, not realizing the goal is to get out of this neighborhood. The goal is to get away from these people, because that crab in a barrel mindset, right? It's located centrally in those Section 8 neighborhoods. It is heavy. It's deep. They want you to get out here and crash out. Again, that term has become popular over the last couple of years. That's what they want you to do. You realize when you go to prison and you put on that jumpsuit, whatever color it is, green, orange, white, brown, blue, whatever color it is, you're working, black men. Yeah, you may not actually be physically working, but you're working, black men. 5 cents per day. 5 cents per day. You know, I be talking about the passport stuff a lot, right? And before I get into that, let me just kind of really break down this whole system for you guys, because I don't want to see young black men end up in those situations. Granted, me and my circle of friends, I'm grateful I have a productive group of friends. My friends are not looking to commit crime. I was never hanging around those kind of guys to where I felt influenced to want to become street, to want to become a thug. Listen, I look back on all my experiences. I'm glad black women laughed at me. I'm glad black women tried to tease me. I'm glad black women told me I wasn't good enough. I'm grateful for every negative thing all black women ever said to me. I'm grateful for every negative thought black women ever had against me, because why? That's how they get you. All this stuff I'm saying, black men, is communicated to a black woman, a young black girl, on a subconscious level, black men. At a very young age, they don't even know what kind of information they're being passed down, because again, when they learn from grandma, when they learn from auntie, when they learn from their moms, when they learn from their sister, when they learn from their cousins, right? They're taught how to eliminate a man, not how to select. So guess what? You get eliminated. So guess what? You don't get picked for all the minute reasons, right? Mostly things out of your control. But the things that can get you picked, guess what? Be prepared to destroy yourself. Be prepared to throw your life away. Be prepared to conform to the culture. Going back to the psychological warfare, guess what they do to get you, black men? First of all, they go after the women, right? If you know anything about how slavery worked, I told you guys in multiple videos, when you tame a female horse, it's not like taming a male horse. As a man, right? Even look at a dog, bro. When you walk your dog and he gets off the leash, guess what he does? He roams. He roams. Some of you guys have had dogs that ran away, and guess what? He came back home an hour later. He came back home 24 hours later. He came back home 48 hours later. But guess what he did? He came back home. When you tame a female horse, right? And the male horse is the same way. See, with a male horse, you need to put him to work. You can't just tame him and expect him to just remain tame. As a man, regardless if you're an animal or a Homo sapien, you have a natural inclination to roam. That's what men do. We roam. We want to be free. Women, I'm not trying to call them sheep, but they do have the sheep mindset. They have the herd mindset. They have the hive mindset, right? When you tame that female horse, once she's broken mentally, that's it, right? And if you keep her broken, well, she will remain broken once broken. But if you get that male horse broken enough to where you can get him to reproduce with that female, and they produce the offspring, right? She will raise the offspring to be broken. She will raise the offspring to be broken and submissive. That's exactly how you know who wants you to be, black men. Mind you, this is just a cause and effect. This is just the chain of events happening, black men. You have to realize this young. That's why I tell you guys, you need to break away. Once they couldn't control you with force anymore, they moved over to psychological warfare. Guess what? We can control them by images, right? TV is powerful. Music is powerful. So guess what? I talk about Glocktavius. I talk about Kentrell Morris. I talk about Jay Fizzle. Guess what? Those guys are found in the projects. Keyword I said is project. They're fucking science experiments, black men. raised up off of government milk and government cheese. Science experiments, black men. So when you look for these kind of dudes and you think, oh, he's cool, he's only cool because the powers that be made him to be cool. Those niggas are not cool. The black man who goes to university and get an education, he's lame. The black man that learns how to read, or he focuses on reading and building his vocabulary. He focuses on enunciation. He focuses on his vocabulary, black men. Those black men are lame. Black men who's good at math, he's lame. Black men who are focused on building up credit, building up a 401k, building up a stock portfolio, gaining real estate, he's lame. Black men who are focused on going abroad and trying to get a better life for himself, oh, he's a loser back home. He can't get no pussy. Black women don't like him. Yo, shut the fuck up. You see where I'm going with this, black men? They want you to worship black women because at the end of the day, black women, right, they control what we got going on in America because we're the only people growing up in a matriarch, right, where they have control. I was reading a comment section the other day, and a black woman said, what's wrong with being a single mother? Everything. Everything. Look at the stats. Look at the stats. Children coming out of single mother households, guess what? You're going to be one of two things. Either a person who's too giving of themselves, or one that's too selfish. On top of the fact that when you grow up, you're looking at your mom, all she's doing is just surviving. She's not living. She's not thriving. She's just surviving. Right? And a lot of you black men, you take on that idea that, oh, I need to protect her. Oh, I need to help her. So you get out here. I remember hearing stories growing up. Dudes are selling drugs at 15 years old to help his mom pay the light bill. For what? Yo, you better off letting those lights get cut off and let her figure it out. You better get out there and sell some goddamn pussy. See, and again, this is why I'm telling you, young black men, you got to separate early. The sooner you can separate, you'll realize what I'm talking about, right? I'm grateful that I've had a few, and only a few, right? In a sea of followers, you're going to always have a few guys who go the opposite direction. Black men, pay attention to those guys. You might have only a few guys to tell you something different in a sea full of people doing the same exact thing. Black men, I highly recommend you watch and follow those guys and try to mimic and imitate what those guys are doing who chose to do something different. Right? See, once you go to prison, right? Once you join, first of all, let's start with the gangs. No one tells you when you join a gang how there are so many rules, right? So many violations that you can commit. And no one tells you how, listen, when you end up in prison, guess what? That's all these guys have time to do is just nitpick. Oh, what's your food? What's your knowledge? Where you from? What you claim? What you go by? Who knows you? You have to be able to answer every question. And let's keep it a buck, right? When it comes to prison, are you young black men ready to walk up in a cell and your cellmate is 6'6", 250? See, I talk about this all the time. Glocktavius, hold on. I've heard it out of black women's mouth. Black women say the real black men are in prison. The fine black men are in prison. Those are words out of black women's mouth. So when you get sentenced to 25 years, 40 years, because those young black men in those first two clips at the beginning, the ones who were shooting up the houses and everything, they got 60 years, black men. They got 60 years. And you have somebody innocent, non-threatening, like Carmelo Anthony, right? Somebody who was just practicing self-defense, and they give him 35 years. Granted, this video is not about him, but a young black man who is innocent. I'm not saying what he did wasn't wrong, right? He shouldn't have never stabbed him, but the video is not about this. When you get sentenced to 25, 40, 60 years, and you walk up in the cell, and your cellmate 6'6", big tiny, you leave a honey bun on your bunk, right? Or he just want to fight you for no reason. He want to let you know, listen, this is my house. Yeah, those guys call the prison their house, black man. Are you ready for that? When you got to fight every day. You're around dudes who are doing time, real time. Time to the point where he can forget about going out to the real world. This is his new home. Are you black men ready for that? For all you dudes who thinking, yeah, I'm tough. Yeah, I'm gangster. Black women. I'm telling you, I've seen so many guys in my life conform to the culture. What the fuck is the culture doing for you? Making you feel like, oh yeah, I'm tough. I'm gangster. I'm street. So forget it, son. Like I said, I look back on my life. Every black woman who ever told me something negative, I'm boring, I'm lame, I'm corny, I need to grow up, right? I like anime while you watching cartoons, I'm ugly, I'm short. I'm thankful for everything because all it did was make me feel like, yo, continue to be yourself. I done had black Jones call me gay, all because why? I'm not trying to chase black pussy. See, when you're concerned with how to improve your life and how to better yourself, instead of trying to chase the next puss, the next low quality pussy, you know, I'm not going to advocate for it and side with it, but maybe if you're gonna smash like the finest black bitch of your life, I'm talking every black girl you ever hook up with is the finest black bitch of your life. And even then, it's not justifiable, but I can just maybe understand a little bit, just a little bit, just 15-20%. If if you conform every black joint you ever get after that conforming phase, I'm talking 10-10. I'm talking about the bitch you dream about. Build a bitch, right? You built that bitch in your dreams and she came to life. But you guys aren't even getting that. You're getting low quality even after you conform. It's just the fact that she's more willing to give it to you because I told you guys this before, multiple videos. What they don't tell you is when you join that gang and you commit those crimes and you serve that time in prison and you come back out into the real world with a felony on your report card, that big old F, no one tells you how you can no longer get an apartment, right? Just off your charges. You got drug trafficking charges. You have domestic violence. You got aggravated assault. You have a murder charge, right? You have rape. You know, anything violent, even just white collar crimes. Guess what? You can't get an apartment no more. You can't get a home no more. So now, what are you left with to do? Live with a black woman. Yeah, that's your only option. No one tells you that though when you're going to prison. No one tells you that when you're going to go join a gang. I recently saw a video of a dude on Instagram. He has to be in his like mid-20s joining a gang. He wanted to be blood. You guys remember a decade ago of that video of the guy in Brooklyn joining that Crip gang? And you know what's so funny? He got beat up at the park. And he still did not. You guys remember that video about a decade ago of that guy from Brooklyn? He joined some Crip gang at the park and he got beat up. And they still did not let him in the gang. Like, come on, you know, really? No one's telling you this, black man. No one's telling you the reality of everything because what they want you to do is be a crash dummy, right? What they want you to be is a crash dummy. You know, Nipsey Hussle is one of my favorite rappers. And again, Nipsey Hussle was once with Lauren London. Lauren London tattooed Nipsey Hussle on her body, right? See, one thing about Nipsey Hussle, you can look at multiple interviews. He never told anybody to ever be a Crip. But look at how they use his image. Every single rapper, maybe not every single rapper, but the most well-known rappers. The days of Kendrick Lamar, that's over with. The days of J. Cole, that's over with. KRT, that's over with. The days of Nas, that's over with. See, I always gravitated towards the older rap music because those guys weren't really gang members, right? They may have been street hustlers, some of them, right? Not real ones, but some of them. But they weren't gang members. From the early 2000s and on up, rap music changed to where now every dude you look at, he's a gang member, right? So in order to get your hands on the young generation, because why that 1984 crime bill, or was it the 1994 crime bill? One of the two, about the drugs with Ronald Reagan, that's over with, right? You can't really sell that street drug lifestyle to young black men. The days of Belly, the days of Juice, the days of Paid in Full, right? That's over with. You can't really entice young black men with that anymore. Now you have to use the gang culture, right? And for a while, the gang culture, it really affected my generation, right? Gen Z and late millennials, gang culture really affected all of us to a really negative level, right? Now you have drill music on top of the gang culture. So now they're hitting you with a double whammy, right? You get hit with the uppercut right hook. Jab, jab. So all you young black dudes, man, you're going down this path for black pussy. And again, black women, I've said it multiple times. Whether they feel however they feel about you, look at the men who they choose. You're not being picked if she cannot have leverage over you, right? When you choose to be a gang member, when you choose to be a street dude, when you choose to not focus on reality, they can smell that on you. They can sense that on you, right? And she knows a guy like that is leverage. I've seen it with my own two eyes. You got these black dudes who will go serve 10, 15 years in prison, and black women will wait for him. But you wouldn't choose a guy who chose to go to college and get an education, chose to go and get him a real career. You wouldn't choose a guy who chose to go to a trade school and learn a skill. He's now driving trucks. Now he's an electrician. Now he's a carpenter, a plumber, a welder, right? You won't choose that kind of man. You won't choose the man who gets out here, hold down a job. You got some black men, and salute to you. You got some black men who has been working at the same job his whole life from 18. He's probably 35 years old, worked for the same job for the last 15 years of his life, worked his way up, built that company up. But black women still wouldn't pick him. And if he is with a black woman, it's a low quality black woman. I'm telling you, black men. See, and let me get into the overseas stuff because they don't tell you this part either. Once you go to prison and you got all these violent charges on your report card, all these felonies on your report card, you can't go overseas. You can't go overseas no more. And by the time you can even get out of prison, if you can get a passport, your options of traveling are so limited. It's so limited, right? And more than likely, you wouldn't even be thinking about going overseas because your life right there in America is going to be so hard. See, I've been talking about that overseas talk, right? Just think about it, man. You did all of that to impress black women back in America, and they don't even give a fuck about you for real. You'll never know what it feel like. Let's say you really love black women and you want to go to Africa. You'll never know what it feel like to slide up in between the legs of an African woman that's gonna probably actually show you real love, real cooperation, real submission, right? Where the average black woman is built like Meg Thee Stallion. The average black woman is built like Cherokee Diaz. The average black woman is built like Ice Spice. The average, right? We're talking no big ass stomach, flat stomach, no tattoos, in shape, hips, curves, ass, all of that. Everything black men love about black women. On top of the fact that she got an attractive face. On top of the fact she's gonna respect you, love you, show commitment to you. You'll never know what that feel like, right? Some of you guys will never know what it feel like to go up to some of you guys will never know what it feel like to take a flight into Geneva, Switzerland, and buy a Rolex at a discounted price from the headquarters. Yeah, I made a video about that years ago. The headquarters for Rolex watches is in Geneva, Switzerland. You can buy a Rolex in the heart of the place where they're created at a discounted price compared to anywhere else in the world. You'll never know what that feel like. Some of you dudes who want to go over to Asia, lay up in the bed with an Asian John, watching anime, and guess what? She won't judge you for watching anime. She won't judge you for playing video games. She won't judge you for actually being a man who cares about intelligence, who cares about knowledge, who cares about self-improvement, right? Being able to provide for a family. She's not going to judge you for that. If anything, she shows you the utmost respect because why? In that society over there, that's what they care about. You'll never know what that feel like. But all because you wanted to go on Instagram, wear purple label jeans, Amiri jeans, True Religion jeans, right? You wanted to wear the Robin jeans back in the day with the Louis Vuitton belt, with the Ferragamo belt, with the Burberry belt, with the Gucci belt, right? You wanted the American Cup Prada shoes with the Timberland boots. You wanted the Avrex jacket. You want the Pelly Pelly jacket, right? You want the North Face bubble coat. You want the Canada Goose. You want the Moncler. You want the Cartier buffs. Also, you can flex for black women. In the society we're living in right now, 2026, we're damn near cashless. We're damn near cashless, and you got guys on Instagram still holding up wads of money to their ear. I went on this one guy Instagram page maybe 2 months ago. I don't even know how matter of fact, a girl I went to high school with, I came across her Instagram page, and granted, typical Keisha, she wasted no time after high school. She did not think about college, not even getting a job at Walmart as a damn greeter. She went straight to the strip pole. And I'm in the likes of one of her pictures. I come across a Glock TV's page. I mean, the dude, he was probably holding up $20,000-$40,000 cash, standing next to bags of drugs, of weed. I'm like, really? You post this on Instagram? Like, the police don't know who you are. You probably already got a felony. You're probably already in the system. Okay, let's say you're not. Your page is public. It's not even private, dumbass. But the guys are doing that because guess what? When a black woman go on your page, oh, he's tough. Oh, he's street. Oh, he's gangster. Oh, he don't follow no rules. Right? Tattoo on your face. Tattoo on your neck. Yo, she know you a dumbass. She know you can't count, nigga. Okay, you might be able to count some money because of you selling drugs and everything like that. But yo, nigga, you still slow. Right? You still slow. Come, I'm telling you, black man. when you hop on that plane and you get away, like I said, I'm thankful for every negative thing a black woman felt comfortable saying to me to my face. I'm thankful. I'm glad to be that short, ugly nigga you thought was gay. I'm glad to be every negative adjective you can describe me with. I'm glad you told me that to my face, because it built character. It built resilience. It built somebody who was internally strong, right? I'm not conforming. And I make content for black men who've never conformed. Because again, what is black pussy doing for you guys? These black Johns not even giving you dudes kids. And when they do give these street niggas kids, yeah, guess what? Single mom. So going back to that comment section that I saw the other day, and a black woman said, what's wrong with being a single mom? Everything, dumbass. You choose a man based off of the negative qualities and characteristics about himself, and you complain about those same negative and qualities, and then you complain about those same negative qualities and characteristics that end that man up in the prison yard or the graveyard. But that's your excuse to now become a single mom, because guess what? It's damn near plausible deniability. So you chose a man who can put himself in the graveyard, but you don't choose the man that has the foresight to get you out of that graveyard, or to get you out of that Section 8 neighborhood, to get you out of the hood. You want the man who's already in the jungle with you to get you out the jungle. No, the jungle is his home. But guess what? I make content for black men who are looking to be in a castle. I'm looking for black men who are one day looking to sit on top of his throne with his feet crossed, right? And all he can do is sit back and say thank you. That's what I make content for. So when I play that video clip of Casanova talking about free me until you see me, boom, 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 fresh out the box, fresh out the shoe, fresh out the hole. I'm telling you, black men, go look at that video. Vlad TV. Casanova talking about how, listen, he's the biggest. Matter of fact, that's the name of the video clip. The biggest gangster in Flatbush, or the biggest gangster in Brooklyn, one of the two. And then look at the same video of his baby mom talking about, oh, he was so exciting, oh, he was so thrilling, he brought a rush. That's what these black hoes care about. That's what these black hoes care about. See, for all you dudes who, listen, you love black women, listen, the African black woman, she doesn't care about you being street. She don't care about you being a thug. You know what I mean? Listen, you want to go down to Colombia, get you an Afro-Latina. You want to go down to Panama, get you an Afro-Latina. Go down to Brazil, get you an Afro-Latina. They don't care about you being no thug. That shit don't get no respect from nobody. And guess what? I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. You're going to always have the few who are concerned with that stuff. Listen, those are the same ones you overlook. You don't worry about her. She's small-minded. Pea-sized brain. Peanut-sized brain. Walnut-sized brain. Attention span of a damn deer or a squirrel. You don't worry about those kind of females that want guys like that. Right? If you think that thug image is cool, listen, you're not the female for me. Or 10%. So anyways, black men, I hope you guys picked up on something good from this video. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.